You say that I go out to get you off my mind. We've been done for a while.
Hello, it does not take you long on this channel to learn that I am a huge proponent for self-care, for prioritizing your mental health, and that you need to do both of those if you want to become someone that you really want to be, if you want to achieve any kind of goal. And so today, I'm gonna walk you through my little monthly goal, monthly planning routine so that we can do it together. And these are really just strategies and journaling prompts, etc. that I have put together piece by piece from different people just over the years. So supplies, you're gonna wanna journal to write in, because if you write things down, you're more likely to achieve them. That has been proven time and time again in different scientific studies. And it's really good just to have the literal physical copy of where you used to be, and then you can compare it. Imagine comparing it at the end of the month, into 2 months, a year from now, seeing what your goals were and seeing how far past them you have flown by. So you're going to want to write these down. This video will be great for you if you have been feeling like you are stuck, if you are feeling like your brain is muddled, if you feel like you want to be one place and you are not quite there yet. I just hope that this can be a little mental reset that you, along with myself, because I do not have it figured out, can really enter into the new month just with a new beginning mindset happening. And I'm excited to do it today too. Okay, so number one most important thing is to reflect. If you don't reflect on the past, you can't figure out what has worked and what hasn't worked before, which then can lead you to just get ultimately stuck again. And so in planning for October, I'm going to journal looking back what has been bothering you. These can be like literal specific instances, whether you're having a conflict or whether something happened that you just can't stop thinking about, what has been bothering you. It can also be the more broad things, like if you're feeling anxious lately, that's bothering you. Take a little time to write about what's bothering you, and then we're also going to find out what makes you happy. And with these, you really don't have to go that deep into it. If your brain just wants to start dumping and you write like paragraphs, then perfect, sounds good. I don't want to be one to tell you not to, but it's just good to start with what's been bothering you, what makes you happy, because then that can give you reference points if we get later to make goals and you're like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what goal I should make. It's good to look back at these and be like, okay, this thing's bothering me, maybe I should work on that. Or, oh, okay, this thing's been making me happy, maybe I should do more of that. It's just a good starting place, and if you don't know yourself, then it becomes really hard to find a plan that works for you. That's why we're doing that. Next thing you're gonna write in our little journaling prompt before we really get going is just values, but kind of in the same spirit of how people come up with like words for the years, with intentions, etc. If there's something that you feel like you need to remember to value in the upcoming month, then write that down. So that could be productivity, that could be your mental health, that could be taking time to slow down, that could be relationships. There's so many options of what it could be, but just write down a couple things that you want to value, either you do right now or you want to start valuing them more. And it really just has the same purpose as the things before. Once we get to actually making goals, it can help guide you, because if you really want to value taking time to be slow and relax, and then you find that all of your goals are very action-based goals, then that doesn't really go together, you know? We're trying to make a little October plan that works for you. Well, I'm trying to make one that works for me. You're trying to make one that works for you. For example, my values going into October, into this month, and I think part of this is just because I'm having little fall feels, as I want to be grateful. I want to value just small moments in life, the little things, really take appreciation of my days. I feel like that kind of goes with gratefulness, but just a little different twist to it. And then I also want to value just like romanticizing my life. And I know that's such a buzzword lately, but really it's because like if I'm going on a walk, I don't want to feel like I'm going on a walk. I want it to be the walk. I want it to be an event. I want to picture it as part of like the montage of my life. Or if I'm going to my internship, I don't want to be, oh, I have to go to work. Like, no, that's cool. I'm doing the things for me that I enjoy, you know, just kind of having that positive mindset spin. That's the values that I want personally to do going forward. Now, this is kind of optional, but if neither of the things I've said so far really like stick with you, that have made you come up with a good picture of how you want to go into the month, then another one that I've done before that can also be good is just writing going forward I want, and then make 2 columns. On one side say less of, and on one side say more of. And those can be super specific things that you want either less or more of. They can be broad general terms. I know I did this in January. I'm gonna see if it's too personal personal to share. Okay, so like for instance, whenever I did this in January, I said that I wanted less time blocking for now because sometimes my Google Calendar can be a really great thing for me and sometimes it can be a little bit obsessive. And so in January, I said I wanted less time blocking. I wanted less of a need for perfection, a less need to be impressive. I wanted less pressure to achieve more in a day than a day can hold. If you watched one of my recent vlogs, I literally talked about that as if it was like this big revelation in my life a couple days ago. And apparently I've been knowing since January and just haven't been enacting. I said I wanted less diving so hard and that burnout comes quick. And I wanted less I'll be happy wins and I'll be happy ifs. Those are my things. I wanted more validation and affirmation from myself, so I didn't need it from others. I wanted more routine without pressure, just like a routine because I enjoyed the routine. I wanted more seeking connection. I wanted more excitement for life, and I wanted more of like saying good job to myself. So those are my things in January, if that sparked any inspiration for you. Again, just as before, the reflection part you can't skip over, because if you skip over it, then you're gonna be creating solutions through goals without actually knowing what the problem areas are. And again, you can't do that. Part of the process is reflection, getting to know yourself, and then you can scoot on forward to make the goals, to become the person you want to be. All right, before we make the actual goals, the like productivity, I'm gonna do this, smart goals, we have one little fun step. This is my favorite step every time I do it. And we are going to brainstorm. I feel like a teacher. We are going to brainstorm together. And I want you to think of things. There literally is not a better word. I hate using things, but right now, things that you want to do for yourself that make you feel joy, happy, self-love, fun. So things that cannot go on this list are any things for any other people, nothing that you don't actually enjoy, nothing for other people. These are literally things that you want to do. And so I know that's super broad, but it's because it's just what you make of it. And it's okay if you reuse things from lines that you've written before, but you're gonna write things like, I want to get outside more. I want to go for more walks. I want to watch the sunset. I want to work out. I want to run. I want to stretch. I want to read. You know what I'm saying? Those kinds of things. I want to drink more water. I want to reach out to my friends more. I want to journal more. The things that bring you joy. Like if any of that list sparked a little like, ooh, I want to do that. That makes me happy. Write it down and try to come up with other ones that kind of go along with that for yourself. And so with brainstorms, you can do it however you want to. What I like to do is set a timer, and usually doing like 2 to 3 minutes seems like it's pretty good. And your goal needs to be to brainstorm that entire time, because you might come up with like a list and then you're like, oh heck, there's 45 more seconds, and think you don't have any more ideas, and then with 5 seconds remaining on the clock come up with like 5 more things. So I'm personally gonna set a little timer for 2.5 minutes, I think. Feel free to pause me if you're doing this along with me. Hopefully you have the list now of things for your mental health that will make you feel good, that are just for you, that you really want to do, that your ideal person, your ideal self, your ideal life you'll be doing. Have that list and you're gonna pick the top 9 things. Here's my little brainstorm list, and they're just kind of things that I want to do that will make me feel good, that I've been excited about, etc. And so I need to pick 9 of them. And honestly, this is the hard part, because I think what's difficult for us is whenever you have like an ideal life, you're wanting to be a person who grows, then it's so easy to be like, these 25 goals, I want them all. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do all of them. My life is like, I think we just dive in too hard and like unsustainably. And that's why this method has really worked for me personally. It's a little prioritization method. So we're gonna pick the top 9, and even after that, we're gonna prioritize and narrow them down further, but top 9 to start. The 9 that I ended up picking are that I want to eat well, that makes me feel good. I want to stretch, that makes me feel good. I want to work out. I want to walk long walks. I want to make my place clean and beautiful. My external environment affects me so much. I want to put less pressure on me. I want to read. I want to try new things, and I want to make more small talk. You are going to draw a little 9 square grid. See, this is so fun for me. I hope it's enjoyable for you guys too. I know this could be like a niche planning video. Like some people probably just want to jump straight to like, these are my smart goals and this is my schedule, and we will get there. Sorry, this sun is getting more and more direct. There you go. So 9 square grid. Doesn't have to look perfect, though I am trying. of my goals should be to make better squares. Oh well, that counts. Okay, this is called our prioritization matrix. On this axis is effort. On this axis is impact. Crazy, I know. You're gonna take the top 9 things that you just came up with, the goals, and you are going to plot them on this point. You are going to decide how much effort they take, whether it's low, medium, or high, and you are going to decide, and this is like compared to the other ones, like only one goal per spot on the grid. Low, medium, or high effort, and low, medium, or high impact on you. Okay, prioritization matrix. This can be kind of hard. Do it in pencil so you can shift things around as needed. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, here is how mine turned out. As you can see, I plotted them all on the impact and effort matrix, and what I ended up with was, I mean, you can read it. It's the 9 things I just told you, and I put how much effort they take me and how much impact they literally have on my being, on myself. And I told you we were gonna do more with these, and so when you're looking at this square, the things that we want to focus on are the things that have the highest impact on you and don't necessarily take the most effort. So our 3 main things, the 3 things that we love, our top 3 priority for these things that are gonna make you happy, gonna make you feel like your best self, this month are going to be our bottom right corner, the one directly above it, and the one directly to the left of it. Now, don't forget about the other things, because the other things are important too, don't you worry. But these things, the ones that I just circled in blue, these are going to be our daily focuses. This is going to be every single day, like I said, our top 3 daily focuses. The next ones we want to look at are the high impact, high effort guy up here, and we're just gonna go diagonal and get that one too. These are more of our weekly focuses, so a little bit zoomed out, a little bit less priority because they are higher effort, but still high impact, so we don't want to just totally get rid of them. Now, I hate to break it to you, the other ones we're ignoring for now. I don't want you to ignore them like in your actual goals in life. You don't have to never think about them again, but we want to set yourself up for success. And how I mentioned before that it's so common to want to dive straight in, quit everything cold turkey, have all of these new habits, all of these new goals, and that just honestly is not sustainable. That's why we're going to focus on those top 3, and then the top 2 are our little like additions. And it's not that you have to not do the other things. For example, in my matrix, take long walks didn't make the cut because it was medium impact and high effort, which isn't always worth your time. Does that mean I'm never going to take a long walk? No. But does that mean I'm going to put pressure on myself to schedule it in and I have to take this many long walks per week? No, that's what we're not doing. Same with reading. Didn't make the cut for me because it is medium effort, low impact. Does that mean I'm not going to read? No, but that means I'm not going to put pressure on myself about it. It's not going to be one of my main focuses for this month. So I know it can be hard to think of all of the goals that you want and then like cut some from the list, but this is elimination round. This is Dance Mom's pyramid, baby. We cannot have the bottom tier. We got to focus on those top 2 tiers. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That is why it's a prioritization matrix. We want all of those things, but we have to prioritize them or else we're not going to get any of them. I feel like I'm teaching a class right now. If you look on your syllabus, we'll now be moving on to our SMART goal section. SMART, I'm sure you've heard the acronym before, but if you don't know, a SMART goal is one that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So has to have all of those things. And what that means is that at the end of the month, you will be able to do a check mark or an X. You will be able to know if you met the SMART goal or not because it is, like I said, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. And you're going to make SMART goals for each of the prioritization matrix boxes that we just came up with. Okay, so we started with the mental health type goals because those are personally my priority and the priority that I want for you, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't really expect yourself to perform well, to feel good as you go into the other aspects of your life. But that doesn't mean don't make goals about the other aspects of your life. I want you to also take time to make goals about, you know, the other aspects of your life. But the goals that I made for the prioritization matrix, the mental health, the things that I want to do. For working out, I want to lift 5 times a week for at least 30 minutes, and I want to go on at least 1 walk a week for at least 45 minutes. See, I wiggled my walks back in there. And my goal is to actually be there for longer than that amount of time. But remember, we want to be attainable. For stretching, I want to stretch for 10 minutes after each workout and stretch for 10 minutes before bed 5 times a week. Again, if I'm feeling great, I'll stretch longer than that, but attainable. For eating well, I want to eat when I'm hungry and only when I'm hungry. Really listening to my hunger signals, and that can really make you feel better because then you're not over or under eating. So my goal, that's not a SMART goal because I don't have like a time based or anything, but my plan is to just kind of check in at the end of each day and gauge how I did for the day. day. And for eating well, I want to eat veggies at least 1 time a day, which you're supposed to get more than that, but some days I've been getting 0, so gotta work with what you can, you know? For putting less pressure on myself, that's a hard one to make like smart, attainable goals for. I'm going to come up with some little morning affirmations. I don't know what they are yet, but I'm going to come up with them and then do like kind of a little mental check-in in the beginning of the day with are you stressed? Are you feeling overwhelmed? And being more aware of like when I might need to journal, when I might need to think about it more and really work out those feelings whenever I am feeling like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself. And then for trying new things, I want to look into ClassPass. It's a service that you can try different workout classes like around your city with. I've heard good things about it, and I think maybe that could be something that could be good for me, but I need to look into it. I don't actually know. And then I'm going to try 2 new restaurants this month. Like I said, obviously, like you have other things you want in your life, whether that's work or school or saving money, those kinds of things. YouTube, if you do YouTube too. And so I made a subscriber goal by October 31st, by the end of the month. Subscribe to help me reach it. I made a goal to get my first paycheck from tutoring, to finish the tutoring certification, to get a caseload at my internship, and to get A's in both of my grad school classes that I'm in right now. So those are just regular old goals, and add as many of those as you want. Those things for me, the more like worky, YouTube-y school goals, are ones that I won't necessarily check in with throughout the month. It'll more be like at the beginning of November, I'll look back and be like, oh, did you do that? Whereas the like mental health goals are ones that I want to prioritize each day. You know, they're kind of different, but they work on the same thing. If you're struggling to come up with more goals, I think it's nice to kind of have some like categories. So if I were you, obviously make it cater to you, but have a goal that's for your body, activity, eating well, just something for your body, resting, drinking water, something for your body, something for your mind. So something that like challenges your mind, whether it's learning, reading, school-based, etc. Something for your soul, so whether that is different kinds of affirmation, journaling, if you've been feeling you've been putting a lot of pressure on yourself, if you've been feeling really stressed, if you're feeling disconnected, romanticizing your life, appreciating the season change, you know, those kinds of things. And then also your like personal development goals, again, whether that's work or school. So coming next, we have our goals, and in order for those to actually happen, there needs to be some sort of strategy for them to happen. I can list all those things, write them out, and then what good does it do if I don't do them? You know, if I don't come up with a plan for me to actually do them. And so I think what my plan is going to be, I'm going to make a habit tracker, because I think that most of mine would benefit from that. I think habit trackers can be good. It's when you literally just make a grid. You do all of the days of the month, like 1 through 31 in October, and then on the other side make just the habits, and then you just check off if you do them each day or not, and so you can see whether or not you do. My suggestion would be to either do that like I am, or to put it in a calendar. I really like Google Calendar because it can give you the weekly visualization of where you're spending your hours. And so for instance, like if you have work 9 to 5, then you can see, well, okay, if I want to wake up at this time, I have this many hours. Is this going to be where I put my stretching or whatever your things are? Either Google Calendar or whatever calendar you use, your agenda, or a habit tracker. I think I've emphasized this. I think you probably get this vibe from me from this video. I don't want these goals to be anything that will make you feel bad. I don't want you to wake up on October 15th and be, oh shoot, I haven't stretched once since the beginning of the month. That's not the plan. The plan is just to have action steps, have a plan, so you can be taking steps to become the best version of yourself if that's what you want. And our best versions always look so different. You don't have to be that girl on TikTok. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. A goal of yours doesn't have to be to drink more water. You don't have to make smoothie bowls. Like your best version is going to be so different from mine, and so different from your partners, and so different from your moms and your best friends. That's why it's important to do all of the reflections so you can know who you are and what aspects of life are the ones that you want to prioritize, and what your schedule, what you want it to look like. Like obviously everyone has a morning routine. You have things that you do in the morning, but maybe you feel great if your morning routine doesn't necessarily have to include waking up at 6:15 on the dot, drinking water with lemon, making black coffee, going for a walk, going to yoga, going to Pilates. You know, some people, that's their best version of life, and if that's not yours, make this be for you. That's why we're doing it. And with the scheduling, again, like don't feel bad if you schedule something and you don't do it. Obviously your goal is to do it, and now that you have your priorities, you know what you want to prioritize, and so the framework is there for the month so that you can know what you want to achieve and go for it, achieve it. What I would suggest, my little next steps for you is if coming up with goals has felt like there's a lot of thoughts just going on in your mind, flying all around there. Journal, brain dump, write down your thoughts, and they don't have to be in goal form at all, but just as this has like sparked up any feelings, thoughts, anxieties, excitements, anything, put them down on paper, sort out your thoughts that way. As I've said before, if you're not taking care of yourself, I don't know how you can expect yourself to be performing, feeling good in the other areas of your life. I hope this was helpful to you. I know it was helpful to me because now I got my goals. Comment below and let me know one of your goals. Maybe 2 of them, 3 of them, all of them, whatever you want, but at least one of your goals. I'm so glad you watched this video. I hope that it was of benefit to you, and I hope that this month is the best one that you've lived so far. I'll see you next time.